I'm Amy Burgart, and this is my Persuasive Speech, and this is my audience. Okay. Some of us in this class, I assume, are parents. And as parents, all you want for your children is to be healthy, safe, and happy. Even if you aren't a parent, I'm sure most of us, if not all, can agree with this statement and would go to great lengths to achieve it. The first word in the list is healthy. When we hear the word healthy, we tend to think about eating right and exercising, but we know that there's much more to it than that. For example, getting vaccinated. If I told you, starting in 2007 to 2015, roughly 1.5 million people suffered from preventable illnesses and just over 9,000 people died of vaccine-preventable deaths, you'd be shocked, right? Or maybe you would just have to assume that those people probably lived in a country where they couldn't provide proper treatment or it wasn't affordable. Well, unfortunately, these statistics are just in the United States alone. If you are like me, then you would probably question why these people are opting out of getting their immunizations. Over the past years, the presence of anti-vaccination groups has skyrocketed, accusing vaccines as the culprit of causing harmful diseases. It all started in 1998 when a doctor by the name of Andrew Wakefield published in a British journal called The Lancet that the MMR vaccine is to be blamed for the cause of autism in some children. The story was widely reported and the information spread like wildfire, resulting in skeptical parents not wanting to vaccinate their children. Fortunately for parents, Dr. Wakefield's research on the topic ended up being faulty data and could never be proven. Multiple scientific researches have been conducted, and the theory still to this day has yet to be proven that the MMR vaccine is linked in any way to autism. In fact, there is still no medical research providing links between vaccines and mental disorders at all. But parents still have their reservations, resulting in the decline of receiving vaccinations. While regulations are put in place for childhood vaccinations, most states do carry exemptions. All 50 states require vaccinations for children entering public school, even though no mandatory federal vaccination laws exist. All 50 states issue medical exemptions, and 48 states, excluding Mississippi and West Virginia, permit religious exemptions, and 19 allow exemptions for philosophical reasons. Ultimately, parents have the freedom to choose whether or not they want their children vaccinated. Since mass vaccination is believed to be the reason for steep decline in diseases, most developed countries experience what is referred to as herd immunity. Those who are not or cannot be vaccinated are offered protection somewhat based on the fact that so many children and adults are vaccinated. That reason alone is used to encourage parents to vaccinate their children to help protect those who are too ill or unable to be vaccinated. Increases in refusal to vaccinate can compromise the herd immunity and lead to outbreaks of vaccine-preventable diseases. For example, if you and your family lived in a community where most were vaccinated, excluding you and your children, you would have to assume your children were immune to these awful illnesses. Unfortunately, this is not the case. In reality, they are only being protected by those who have had their immunizations. When exposed to others who also haven't been vaccinated is when the real problem can occur. Traveling to different countries, visiting other states, or simply getting on an airplane can put them at higher risk of coming in contact with an illness or disease. Some diseases that are quite common in other countries are brought to the U.S. by international travelers. If children are not vaccinated, they could easily get one of these diseases from a traveler or while traveling themselves. Due to their weak immune system, they are more susceptible to contracting certain illnesses they have never been exposed to before. This can result in long-term complications and even result in death to those who are vulnerable. Sometimes the alarmists warn that the vaccines are so unreliable that they leave children just as vulnerable to diseases as they were before they were vaccinated. These claims would be upsetting if they were based on fact. Panels of experts have confirmed again and again that today's vaccines are safer than ever. And actually, the greatest risks come from children who are not immunized. Before a vaccine is ever approved or licensed, it goes through years of testing on safety and effectiveness. The American Academy of Pediatrics and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention would never recommend a vaccine that didn't pass the safety and effectiveness testing. Because of advances in medical science, children can be protected against more diseases than ever before. Some diseases that once injured or killed thousands of children have been eliminated completely, and others are close to extinction, primarily due to safe and effective vaccines. As previously stated, children are at greater risk not being immunized than those who are. Children may still get an illness after being immunized, but due to receiving the vaccine, most are just reactions and are mild and short-lived and have no long-lasting effects. Adverse reactions to vaccines are extremely rare. Unfortunately, vaccine-preventable diseases have not disappeared, so vaccinations are still very necessary. In conclusion, we learned that there are no real evidence-based research proving that vaccines cause any type of mental illness. There are no facts supporting this theory, and the pros outweigh the cons when deciding to vaccinate our children. Vaccines have to go through rigorous science-based testing and have to be licensed and approved until they can be put out to the public. Our children are at greater risk of contracting illness or disease if not immunized, and can result in death. In 2008 alone, 1.5 million children under the age of 5 died from vaccine-preventable illnesses and disease. We can change these statistics by simply getting our children vaccinated. I hope this speech aids you in doing your research before deciding whether or not to make this life-changing decision. As Americans, we have the right of freedom and choice, but as a nation and community, we have a commitment to ourselves, our peers, and to the public to protect one another. And that means we all need to reconsider getting vaccinated before it's too late.